Meh. Meh. Hey guys, we're gonna do an Ask JT number 3. I got your guys' questions from the last one, and I'm gonna answer them, and let's do it. So the first question is from Caleb Watson. He asks, he says, "Hey, my dude, I started a pretty serious relationship, and I leave for boot camp in 5 months, and I'm an AV, so I'll be in Florida, and she'll be back home in Tennessee. Any advice for me? Will it work? Should we break up before boot camp?" Now, myself, I might not be the best person to ask about relationships in the military because I did not have one when I was active duty. I went in knowing that I wasn't going to have one, just because it's impossible, man. I was deployed 3 times. I was overseas. I lived in Japan for my last year and a half. You're always doing something, A-school, boot camp training. So unless you're really, really serious, like I'm talking you're engaged or you're about to be engaged, just in my experience, it's going to free you up more in ports. You're not going to have stress. You're not going to be stressed on deployment if you can't talk with your significant other or your girlfriend. If you don't have the best trust and communication, especially, it's going to cause a big rift, and it's going to be hard, definitely. So you have to, if you think that relationship's going to go the distance, then it can happen. It'll be a true testament. I would make sure that she is 100% on board with being a military spouse if that's something that you want to do. Because that entails, not seeing you for long periods of time, and I don't know, So in my experience, though, like I was saying, I never was in a relationship when I was active duty, and it frees you up in ports. You're able to relax, go out, don't have to worry about anything, have fun. So it's ultimately your decision, man. Before another long answer, let's do a quick question number 2 real quick from Tyshawn King. What's up, bro? USAA or Navy Federal? I've talked about these two in the past, but Navy Federal, definitely really good for active duty checking. They have really good credit cards, like rewards cards. They have good certificates, like CDs. They have really good interest rates on those. So definitely for banking, Navy Federal. USAA is also decent, but they're really good with their insurance rates, USAA. So I would definitely do both. Start USAA early, like I said, looking at getting renter's insurance, because that builds up your how long you've been with them. So when you want to do stuff in the future with USAA or Navy Federal, you'll have a history with them. So I advise both. All right, question number 3 is from Scott S. He asks, how was it going to college after separating? Did you feel out of place at all, or was it an easy transition? So for me, military was my first job. I never really worked in high school besides one summer, 2 months I worked at Jack in the Box to pay for car insurance. But besides that, I didn't really work. I never lived on my own, and I grew up in the suburbs, and I was pretty, I had everything that I needed. So the hard part transitioning for me was from going from I was always taken care of, right, growing up in life, and also in the military. They told me where to go. They always fed me. I always had clothes. I didn't really had to live on my own. The hard part for me was not only transitioning from military to civilian to that side, but it was also hard, just learning to be on my own as a civilian, as an adult, because I had never done that before. I had never worked. I had never gone to college. I never done all that together. I never transitioned and dealing with, new relationships and getting just everything, all of that combined. It took me, maybe a year, this past couple months where I really felt comfortable as a civilian. So depending on how much experience you have before living on your own, I guess that it depends. For me though, like I said, if you can relate with that, the military is your first job and you don't really do much work in high school, so then you'll probably be in kind of my shoes. A good way to prepare yourself though is to build up a nice nest egg before you get out. If you're going to do 4 and done or 6 and done, and you're only going to do 1 enlistment, definitely build up a nice nest egg, at least $10,000, at least $10,000 to make you to get you through those first couple months comfortably, so you don't have to stress if you have to dip into that savings. That'll help you a lot just with reassurance. All right, and this last question is going to be a question about the flight deck. Pararescue PJ asks, can you talk about ABH firefighting on a carrier and sitting on the flight deck all day? So as you know, I worked on the flight deck. I have almost 2 years sea time, and I worked on the flight deck all day from 6 in the morning to 1800 at night, nonstop. And it's definitely an interesting place, very exciting, very dangerous. You got to keep your head on a swivel at all times because everything will kill you, and it can kill you up there if you mess up or cross the wrong line. So now ABHs, as you know, are the yellow shirts. They're the ones that direct the jets. I was not an ABH, I was an LSE, so I have different hand signals. I directed the helicopters, but I did work with a lot of ABHs alongside them. I had some friends that were ABHs. Now, as an ABH, you're going to start off as a blue shirt. If you go and watch flight deck videos, those are the ones that are moving the aircraft around. They have the whistles. They're doing the aircraft moves. They throw in the chocks and chains. Once you do a blue shirt, you can move up to a tow tractor driver on the flight deck, and then the blue shirts eventually become a yellow shirt. Those are the ones that do the full directing, right? You're bringing them up on the catapults. Sometimes you can launch them, I believe. Those are yellow shirts. Sometimes you can launch the jets. Yeah. ABHs though, it's definitely a tough rate. You're working on the flight deck all day, you're sweating your ass off. It's dangerous, but it's exciting and fun. Now firefighting, those guys, they just chill on their little fire truck. As long as flight ops is going on, there has to be a fire truck and people manning it as long as flight operations is going. So they're up there sweating, they're wearing full flight deck gear and their firefighting gear, sitting in their truck just chilling. So they really don't do much because luckily there wasn't that many mishaps, so they didn't really have much to do but just sit and chill. But like I'm saying, it's really hot, and I'm sure it gets boring. There's really good parts though of working on the flight deck. Literally, you will see the most beautiful night skies in the middle of the ocean with no lights, because at night on the flight deck we have to use red or blue lights because they don't give off as much light, right, on the open ocean. So you can see all the freaking stars and the whole, it's awesome. You see some of the best sunrises and sunsets, and the really pretty beautiful ocean. You see dolphins sometimes. And when you see a bird, that's when everybody flips shit, because that means you're close to land. So birds are awesome. That's why you see a lot of sailors with birds, right? The sparrows, because it's a sign. But alright guys, that's definitely going to be wrapping up the video. I hope you enjoyed this Ask JT, and I'm going to do more obviously in the future. So if you have questions for me, it doesn't have to be Navy related, just leave them in the comments below. And like I said, thank you for understanding, and I've just been super busy, and more videos to come. Like I said, videos every week, and social media stuff below, guys. I'll see you later.